What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a racist wrestler being fired and shamed, the incredibly unique plans involving the Money in the Bank ladder match being leaked, Vince's ridiculous revival repackaging, Mike Kanellis talks WWE release, a former WWE champion planning return, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. But let's waste no further time and get straight into the first story, as a racist wrestler has been fired and shamed. Now, there's no place for racism in this world, especially not in pro wrestling. Yeah, storylines and gimmicks have included a few racial undertones, but probably nothing as serious as this wrestler demonstrated when he participated in a controversial TikTok video alongside fellow high school friend Stephanie Freeman.
Hey, today we're making... First we have... black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty black.
Yeah.
Jay Hunter, no, not him, he's awesome, aka Jeffrey Hum, used the N-word in the video and referred to black people being bad fathers, eating watermelon and fried chicken, and going to jail. The wrestling promotions he worked for, WWE and Victory Wrestling Association, both released a statement on Twitter condemning the act and releasing him from the promotion. The indie wrestler was a senior at Carrollton High School in Georgia, where Superintendent Mark Albertus confirmed that the boy has been expelled from the school. Now we can only hope that he runs into New Jack on the indie circuit one day. We'll see if he has any more videos left in him. Next up, the incredibly unique Money in the Bank ladder match plans being leaked. Now, while there are no spoilers for match results yet, you may want to skip this if you don't want to know anything about the WWE's upcoming Money in the Bank pay-per-view. On 17th April, the WWE announced for the first time ever, competitors in the Money in the Bank ladder match would battle their way from the first floor of the WWE headquarters all the way to the roof. It appears that the WWE has taped several, if not all of the card. Fightful.com is reporting that WWE flew talent out to Stamford on Tuesday and multiple matches were filmed simultaneously. It started early morning all the way up until nearly midnight that night. It was noted that the filming for the matches was said to be tedious and a lot of hurry up and wait for the next shots to get set up. Also, the matches were filmed in a more cinematic manner. Fans and critics praised the WWE cinematic matches at WrestleMania 36 and might find success with more. The concept of wrestlers battling to the top of the WWE headquarters is novel and it has lots of potential. With no real idea when fans will be able to attend shows, the WWE may have to use the cinematic matches more than they'd like to, running the risk of burning fans out with them. Next up, SmackDown scores historic low rating. The WWE shows at the Performance Center continue to fare poorly, with PW Insider's Dave Shearer reporting last night's preliminary broadcast national ratings saw SmackDown do 2.192 million overnight viewers, down from last week's 2.304 million overnight viewers. Hour 1 did 2,239,000 viewers, while Hour 2 did 2,145,000 viewers. The ratings were an all-round disappointment, with the Wrestling Observer Figure 4 Online's Paul Fontaine pointing out that's down 4.9% from last week, which had been the previous overnight low for a Fox episode since SmackDown debuted on the channel in October. It was the least viewed show on the major networks last night. Only a repeat of NBC's The Blacklist came close to 2.321 million. As we noted in our SmackDown analysis, the 17th April edition was one of the better episodes in recent memory in terms of storyline and matches, but if fans are too turned off by the empty arena shows, it's doubtful it'll bring in anything but the most dedicated fans. Next up, Vince's ridiculous revival repackaging. Wrestling fans often hear of weird ideas that Vince McMahon has for repackaging superstars, looking to get them over or in some cases to bury them. Or at least it seems that way when fans hear the ideas. In any event, you probably heard about the WWE wanting to turn the revival into a comedy act, but did you know the company also had them do some prep work, trying out some new outfits for their proposed look? Thanks to an exclusive report by Bodyslam.net's Cassidy Haynes, fans have a look at what the WWE was going to saddle Dawson and Wilder with. Some have compared the costumes to those of 1980s tag team The Fabulous Ones. Well, in one they actually look like a couple of Hulk Hogan rejects. but we'll let you decide for yourself. But everyone short of Vinnie Mac has to be happy the WWE never went through with the idea. As for the revival, what do the wrestlers who formerly worked as Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson have to say? When a fan asked Cash Wheeler, formerly Dash Wilder, on Twitter if the photos were real, Wheeler seemed to dodge the question, responding, "We were voted WWE's Match of the Year once." You can be sure that Vince's idea for rebuilding the revival once strengthened their desire to leave the WWE as soon as possible. It's yet another example of what the hell was Vince thinking? Next up, former WWE Champion planning a return? After WWE released over 20 wrestlers on Black Wednesday, fans are wondering if any underutilized superstars will get a chance at rising up in the card. One such wrestler is former WWE Champion Jinder Mahal, whose main event run ended as soon as he dropped the WWE Championship to AJ Styles. Nonetheless, wrestling's modern-day Maharaja is ready to get back in the squared circle. In an exclusive interview with Wrestling Rumors' Chris Featherston, Mahal explained he's cleared and waiting, which means we could see him at any moment. As noted in our video on wrestlers who surprisingly weren't released on Black Wednesday, Jinder's former henchmen the Singh brothers are still around, so don't rule out Jinder reuniting with them and launching a bid for Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship at some point down the road. Next up, Mike Kanellis talks WWE release. A number of recently released WWE superstars have left brief messages on social media wishing their former co-workers goodbye and such, but Mike Kanellis has already given a lengthy interview on his thoughts about leaving and his plans for the future. In an exclusive interview with Wrestle Talk, Kanellis explained that he and wife Maria knew they were being released as soon as Vince McMahon made his video announcement that cuts were coming soon. He talked about how the timing may have been better despite him previously asking for his release, only to be denied. As Kanellis explained, some fans might think he should be happy to be released, but that's actually not the case. I think that's a hard thing to explain to people. Not to go off topic, but there are a lot of people who are like, well, he did ask for his release, which I did, but my wife never did, and I wanted to get that clear. My wife was happy to stay there, but it's like you're thinking in the back of your head, yes, I did ask for my release, but no one wants to be released in the middle of a pandemic. Kanellis didn't seem to have any regrets about his time in the company, saying, "I've said this in the past, I liked working for WWE, I liked the people there. It was my dream. I never wanted to leave, but I had the sense I needed to leave and needed to work and be productive. If you're not working, that means that they are using you, and that means eventually they're probably going to let you go because you're just dead weight." There's no doubt Kanellis was looking to do more with himself creatively, so what does the future hold for him? I would love to do singles run at New Japan, and I would love to team up with Matt Taven again. To me, those are the two coolest things. As for Vince McMahon, Kanellis has nothing bad to say about the WWE Kingpin. You hear these terrible stories about Vince, but like, he was always good to me. He really was. It just didn't click. Fair enough, there's actually some nice words from Kanellis, and he obviously doesn't hold a big grudge against Vince McMahon. Guess at the end of the day, Kanellis feels that it was just business. Next up, WWE relocating WrestleMania 37. As we reported in previous videos, there are talk that 2021's Showcase of the Immortals might not take place at Inglewood, California's SoFi Stadium due to the mayor of Los Angeles' recent comments that there may be no large public gatherings for at least a year. As we speculated, that likely means the WWE is looking for an alternative, a notion Wrestle Vote seems to agree with. Full disclaimer, it's far too early to speculate on specific details. However, WWE has begun researching a plan B on the alternative site to host WrestleMania 37 if the state of California is not allowing large gatherings and or SoFi Stadium is not finished on time. It's too early to know with any certainty whether the event will be moved, but you can be certain that Vince McMahon doesn't want a repeat of this year's WrestleMania being forced to take place at the WWE Performance Center. And finally, does Bayley want to wrestle Sasha Banks? It's obvious WWE is building up a Bayley vs Sasha Banks program for somewhere down the road, but does Bayley really want to wrestle the boss? Speaking with the Sporting News, Bayley explained, "It's something that I've always dreamed about, especially after TakeOver 5 years ago. That was supposed to be our first match. Afterward I was like, oh my god, when are we ever going to do this again? I'm gonna miss her so much. She's my favourite person to be in the ring with. Luckily, throughout my time on Raw and SmackDown, I've been able to share every WrestleMania with her and almost every pay-per-view. We've been tag champions. I'm so grateful that we're doing stuff together every single year. That's definitely something I would love to do again before we both retire." A Bayley vs Banks series would be fantastic, but would the WWE Universe be able to pick sides on this one? If they ever had a rematch, who would you root for? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.